Experts from India and across the world, representatives of government, international organizations, academia, and industry, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very warm welcome to the second and concluding day of the second Indo-Global Irrigation Summit 2026, being organized by International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage under the aegis of Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. My name is Kumari. I hope you all had a very pleasant evening yesterday and a very, very meaningful and a day where you went home with a lot of ideas. And I hope you're all looking forward for another day of ongoing discussions, knowledge sharing, and collaborations. Well, yesterday we had a very enriching exchange of ideas from experts across the globe, ladies and gentlemen. We heard from Italy on water reuse, hydrological science, and climate resilience. France on global water cooperation. Morocco on digital agriculture. Canada on drought monitoring. Japan on resilient water futures and emerging irrigation trends. We also heard from Uzbekistan on irrigation efficiency, Nepal on transforming traditional irrigation systems, Sri Lanka on blending ancient wisdom with modern water management. From Russia, we heard on climate responsive irrigation algorithms, Malaysia on digital irrigation modernization, and India on smart irrigation, water governance, satellite technologies, and sustainable irrigation management. Together, these discussions affirmed that innovation, technology, and collaboration are key to achieving water and food security. I would also encourage all of you to please visit the exhibition hall, the exhibition area during the breaks. It showcases very innovative technologies, digital solutions, and practical applications that complement the discussions that are taking place in our plenary and technical sessions. So do take the opportunity to interact and visit our exhibitors and explore the latest advancement in smart irrigation and water management. And also a very humble request to all our speakers to please keep their presentations within 12 minutes so that today we are able to maintain the timeline of every session. And we are able to get longer breaks because of that. So let's begin our first technical session on smart irrigation management practices for a resilient future. Well, this session will showcase practical innovations and technologies ranging from AI and remote sensing to integrated irrigation systems, climate resilient modernization, and demand-based irrigation scheduling, offering valuable insights into building more efficient and resilient water management systems. Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please join me in inviting our first speaker for this session on the dais, Mr. Prakhar Bindal from CBS Technologies Private Limited, India. And Mr. Prakhar Bindal will be speaking on hydrocyclone separations for smart irrigation water security. Let's welcome him with a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prakhar Bindal. Can we have the pointer, please? You have it.
Hi, a very good morning, everyone. I hope you guys had a good evening yesterday, and I'll be starting today's session with hydrocyclone separators. This is something which a lot of us would already know about, but definitely how these separators could be a game changer for especially rivers in India, which have a high silt content, sand content, and solid contamination, and not good for the crops, not good for irrigation. So we'll try and go through it very quickly on how this actually a Dutch technology has been brought in India and is being manufactured here could be helpful for the Indian irrigation sector. So this is something generic that we all know that India is a huge country, and we irrigate hectares and hectares of land. And most of the land is actually fed by perennial rivers, the rivers which actually come from the mountains, and they do carry a lot of silt content in them. And it can go up to around 5,000 ppm in the rivers, which we've seen in our last 10 years, how they've been doing. And that silt, which comes in with the rivers, is a menace for the pumps, for the settling tanks, for the pipelines, and finally for the farmers, wherein the silt goes to the crops and suffocates pretty much all the nutrition that the crops could get. So this is what I'll be mainly talking about, and how this silt actually causes the downtime. There's a change for impellers, we got to change the pumps, we got to change the motors, the pipelines. So just to make sure that we have less downtime and we have water availability to our farmers all the time. So this is very basic, what we call the hydrocyclone separator, wherein we have this put in line, and we do not have any consumables in the product. This is something which already is being used by the farmers for their specific, crops. But this is something which is on a commercial scale, a bigger scale, and which could be put wherein the government takes the water from the rivers and the silt gets in at the bigger motor and pumps and the settling tanks. So this hydrocyclone is basically, there's nothing, it's just like you stir a cup of water, and because of the pressure difference in the hydrocyclone, all the solid contamination settles down, and the clean water with, I think, 98, 99% of efficiency of taking out sand goes to your motor pumps and the settling. You don't need settling tanks anymore once you have these. But yes, as of now, this is something that needs to be done. The size of contamination that it can take out right now, and this is something which is already being patented, is up to 40 microns in a single pass, and with efficiency of around 98 to 99%. So rather than me explaining, I'll just play a quick video. If you could please help me with playing the video. So it'll be easier explanation of how this happens. Kind of self-explanatory. The dirty water enters in. There's a tangential flow that happens here. It's exactly like I said, it's just like stirring water in a cup. And because there's suddenly increase in the surface area, there's a pressure drop and all the solid contamination settles down. And it is all automated. The purging effect is all automated based on the weight or based on time. We can easily automate it and have the feedback sent back to whatever device we want, and accordingly take the steps further. So this is just a small video of showing how dirty water just enters it, and you don't need any, these are just different applications for it. So I'll skip to this. So this technology is nothing that is extremely new, but definitely this is a Dutch technology that we started manufacturing in India and have it certified by one of the most coveted institutions in India. That's the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. So they did a extreme detailed research and on the efficiencies, on different parameters, pressure drops, the pressures it can take. And finally, they've certified that this is something which would be definitely beneficial, not just for the HVAC sector, irrigation, ships, dredging ships, but for a lot of other segments. So these are just some numbers which actually tell you the efficiency, which is IIT certified, that what is the percentage of silt that can be taken out in a single pass. And yes, the Indian government has already taken notice of this and has started a couple of installations have already happened, and Uttaranchal being one of them, where they have already installed one of these separators and are seeing the difference. This last year of rains, they did see a lot of difference wherein they could take out the silt, and the settling tanks were much better. The motor pumps were definitely much better. So this is just the comparison of this being there and this not being there, and how effectively this is something that all our rivers, wherein we pick up the water from the rivers, should be, so that it does not get transmitted further to the settling tanks and the farmers. So these are again the numbers wherein what we invest on keeping up the impellers, the motors, and the people who actually go there and check the status, clean it, change it, so you don't need that anymore. Again, so in India, there are currently around 15,000 lift schemes, out of which 5,000 to 6,000 lift schemes are such wherein this can be easily retrofitted. You don't need a lot of changing. And the savings would be huge for the nation, for the farmers, and especially for the complete irrigation community. Now, this is what the recent technologies have brought into it, is the smart irrigation. So we don't really need to go out there and check the status, have the feedback. This can all be done. This is all automated now, and this can all be done over our mobile phones. We can have data back, wherein how and what is being done, what's the pressure coming in, what's the silt load that's coming in, what's the flow rate that's coming in. So it just gives us data back on which we can definitely make it more suitable for specific locations. Now, this is what we are saying, the preventive maintenance, the real-time process optimization, and intelligent monitoring, like I mentioned. So all these things, the recent AI integration, the machine learning technologies that are available in the world have all been integrated with the system. And of course, it is all elective. If we want that, we should be going further with this, we can do it. If not, if we think just the regular hydrocyclone serves the purpose, so be it. We can definitely do that. Now, like I said, there are differential pressure sensors. So if we have a lot of silt already collected inside the hydrocyclone, it can tell us, and it can actuate the purging system, or it can definitely be timed, wherein we don't need the pressure sensors. It's just we know what's the silt load, and we can already program it on how quickly it should be releasing out the sand back to the river. So again, like we can definitely make digital twins for these. And AI models not just tell us about the flow rates, they do tell us about the water quality as well. So there's a lot of data which with these cleansing systems or the purification or separation systems that we can take in and act on. So because this is at the initial levels, this is where the water is just being taken from the rivers, and it goes a long way from there. And if we have data over there, there's a lot of things that we can definitely do with that data. So these are the benefits of what we have seen till now for a couple of installations that we've already done. So definitely once more data starts pouring in, there'll be better numbers, there'll be better figures that we can build on. So this is what we think should be the next steps where we can move forward, is all these schemes wherein we are taking the water from the rivers. Because in India, all these rivers carry a high silt load, there's a lot of rainy season. These could be the game changer for a lot of equipment that are put down the line. And these are big capacities hydrocyclone separators. These are not just 50 meter cube or 80 meter cube. These separators can go up to 3,000 meter cube per hour. So they've already been put in hydropower plants by companies like NHPC, BHEL. So they can take in all the water that's going to the turbines as well. And that's where they are actively being put to save the turbines from the silt. So this is just me introducing all my community to the hydrocyclone separators and how they could be a game changer, especially for the Indian system, wherein we know there's a lot of dirt coming in with the water, and I hope this goes forward. Thank you. Thank you. Is there a system? Yes, yes. Yes, there is an option. If you want to return that silt product, you can get it back. It's up to you. If you want to put it back to the source, you can put it, like if you're getting the water from the rivers and there's a lot of silt and you've collected that silt and you want to put it back to the riverbed, you can do that. If you want to collect it, because normally the sand or silt that's coming in the water, they have a lot of nutrient content. Yes, so people do want to use it as well. So you can always collect it in whatever. If you want to have a tank wherein you want to save it, you can definitely save it. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bindal, for demonstrating how efficient water filtration technologies can actually enhance irrigation performance and strengthen water security. Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation explores how emerging digital technologies are transforming irrigation management through the power of remote sensing, artificial intelligence, and machine intelligence. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Madhuri Rampalli and Mr. Nikhilesh Kumar from Vassar Labs, India, for their presentation on application of remote sensing, AI, and MI in smart irrigation. And I also request you to kindly conclude in 12 minutes. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri Rampalli, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, one and all, distinguished personalities, and my dear able friends. I thank ICID for giving me this opportunity to speak on the topic of application of remote sensing, AI, ML in smart irrigation. So I would like to take the opportunity to first introduce about my company. Next slide, please. So ours, Vassar Lab, is a global climate tech company leveraging AI, ML, and big data. And we are doing this so that we are going to build and monitor and manage all the digital systems and exactly the digital twins, etc. And we are a global tech company where, in fact, we have been spread for 6+ country scale projects, 17+ state level projects, and 40+ state projects which are being implemented all over. And this has been started by a founder, Lakshmi Prasad Putta sir, and with co-founder Nikhilesh Kumar sir, and CEO. Next slide. So we have our customer profiles all over, and we can say that we're working with Jal Shakti, and also we have our key projects like ADB, Stanley, and also we have been spread into different state projects like in Andhra, Telangana, and Orissa, Karnataka, where we have been working on different national, international projects. Not only in water or agriculture, but we have been spreading across where we are trying to reach to the last milestone. So now coming to the relevant experience where we have a large-scale digital water management system where we are starting from the source to the supply. So I would like to tell that the journey of the water when it starts from the drop to where it starts to the reservoir, to the cities, and finally to irrigation, and also it is supplying to different canals, and so on and so forth. So this has been done in different places like Saudi Arabia. We also have in city water like in Karnataka. For 8 cities, we have implemented the city water, and we have the digital digital twin lift irrigation systems, and as well as WRS and city-scale projects where we have worked in Orissa, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra, and we have the hydropower systems also as a state-scale projects. Now coming to the agriculture, so we have our key deployments in Andhra Pradesh. So recently in APMs, we had seen like Bill Gates have been coming to our projects where APMs have been deployed, and how the pest identification and the smart agriculture which is implemented in that place have been shown and was appreciated. And we have our Andhra Pradesh AITP, and then we have Haryana, where we have deployed the agriculture systems where especially the agricultural DPI and climate smart systems have been employed here. And then Haryana, Maikada. Kerala, we have Kathir, where we have started in a system where any question in their own vernacular language can be asked by the last milestone, for example, the farmers. Telangana camps, that is canal management system, which is also been developed in such a way that anywhere in whichever water has been supplied according to the crop water requirement is also been done. Now Odisha camps, it's the same as what we have been doing for Telangana and other places, where we have 8 state-level projects being employed. Now coming to the AquaWise. So
Introducing AquaWise, our flagship digital platform advancing water security for the nexus of food, people, energy, and planet. It powers a suite of products across the entire cycle of water, leverages a scientific and data-driven approach with AI or ML, IoT, GIS, etc. from source to supply.
Bridging water for food realities. The platform facilitates irrigation decision support. It creates digital twin of canal networks, does surface wetness monitoring, gives insights on crop water requirement and release schedules. AquaWise also ensures equitable water distribution through planning and analytics on lift schemes, which includes monitoring large pump houses, reservoirs, and asset management. Further, it does water demand forecasting, understands seasonal trends to sustain groundwater resources.
The platform promotes sustainable water utilization for people, that is, empower city water operators and utilities with real-time leak detection, demand-supply forecasting, water quality assessments to optimize drinking water distribution. Also cites intelligence on water body monitoring, that is, insights on health, storage capacity, spread area monitoring, etc. AquaWise also enables facilities and industry managers to get assessments on compliance tracking, water auditing, ranking, benchmarking, automated permitting systems, etc., helping policymakers and enterprises.
With climate technology at core, AquaWise unites the planet with intelligence on 2D or 3D flood risk assessments and early warnings. Employs AI-powered flood prediction models for rivers, urban areas, and individual facilities. Furthermore, the platform optimizes dam operations and hydropower dispatch planning. By operational decision support, it is enhancing water accounting, hydroelectric generation, and interbasin water transfers.
With an aim to optimize water management for all, AquaWise creates digital twins of natural and conveyance systems for bulk water management across countries and states. From large-scale watershed planning, to drain profile simulations, to structure analysis, the platform enables effective water conservation strategies. Additionally, the platform is equipped to empower water data managers and analysts. They can connect to databases, edit layers, draw polygons, and save changes securely. Instantly visualize updates and streamline workflows with data validation, transformation, and export tools for faster, smarter decision-making. Gen AI-driven decision intelligence for key users avails real-time information at their fingertips on assets, insights on dam operations, DPR analysis, permits, etc. Today, AquaWise is digitally transforming the water sector with tangible outcomes. Explore more as we simplify water management with intelligence.
So this is about AquaWise. So AquaWise is a digital public infrastructure for water in which, as I have told in the starting, that we have a story of water from the drop, where we call aqua drop, and how it is being carried over to the irrigation, and then how it has been assessed when during floods, which is called aqua flood. So for irrigation, we have aqua irrigation. And then how it has been supplied to the different cities by Aqua City, and finally how it is reaching to different places by our Gen AI. And then finally we are also seeing that for whom we are building this whole DPI, is it actually reaching to the last milestone? So from the drop to the story of the water to the places it is to be supplied, this whole platform, it is a kind of an integrated work upon which all these products have been built. Next one, please. So as I've told, we have our products which is powered by AquaWise, in which we have the mostly 4 main pillars. That is, we are working for the water for all, water for people, water for food, and water for planet. So water for all, where we have our aquavariums, and that is simplifying water management. AquaMine, Gen AI, through which we are able to give the answers to the people who actually need in their own vernacular language, and AquaMind, AquaShed, so where we are conserving the water and simplifying it. Now, water for people, where we have Aqua City, as I was telling, we have deployed it in 8 cities of Karnataka. So digital water management is done. And aqua facility as well as aqua lake, where I'm going to show in the next slides how we are monitoring the lakes, how the water spread area with respect to the volume, how it is decreasing. That is being assessed every time. And we have water for food. That's the main theme of here. That's aqua irrigation, where climate resilient irrigation detection support is being done. And also aqua lift, which is a lift irrigation system, which is one of its kind, where we have built a digital twin. And it is going to operate based on the demand, supply, and optimal water allocation to all the places. And aqua well, where real-time groundwater monitoring is being done. Then water for planet, where aqua drop, that is dam operations and safety at your own step. And then aqua hydro, followed by aqua flood. So aqua flood is something I would definitely want to focus into, where we predict, we manage the flood, we monitor the flood, and finally the main theme of any flood system is to be prepared before the flood occurs. So that is also been done by giving the advisories and alert systems in our systems. So this is the main architecture where we can see that we have our input data in the form of either the rain gauges, the citizen apps, the satellite data, and IoTs, the gauges. And on top of that, we have our technology layer, which consists of the authorization engines, the AI/ML engine, where we integrate the hub, weaver, gauge, and predict. And then finally, we integrate it with the GIS engine as well. And then we have the model layer, wherein we bring into picture the hydrology, where we have inventory of the models, because one model doesn't suit for all the terrains or the different case studies. So in the same place, we have different models based on the different parameters, for example, the land use, land cover, the soil, the groundwater. So based on that, we have the inventory of systems, and then we have a hydrodynamic models based on it, and then the Gen AI Copilot, the crop classifications. These are done on the model layer, and on top of that, we have the application, which I have just told, the aqua warrants, the the water resource management system, where we are finding a visibility to the large-scale projects, and also we are integrating the GIS, and then we have aqua city, aqua irrigation, aqua flood, aqua drop, aqua lake, and aqua facility. So this is our architecture. Next slide. So now coming to the main aqua irrigation, which I want to emphasize on. So where we are managing the 3 states and 30 projects, and the objective of aqua irrigation is to optimize the irrigation with real-time monitoring and data-driven management. It integrates the canal network, and it sources the tracking and conjunctive water use. And we have integration of real-time monitoring, conjunctive water use, and also we have the SMS notifications. Now this is aqua irrigation, which I was just explaining. Next
Inefficient
slide.
irrigation leads to wastage, crop stress, and reduced yields. What if we could transform irrigation with precision? Introducing Aqua Irrigation, smart irrigation decision support system developed to optimize water use efficiency in the canal command areas. The platform creates digital twin of canal network and monitors water flow in canal command areas. It does rainfall analysis based on observed and forecasted data to anticipate water availability. Also provides actionable insights on groundwater levels, soil moisture, and crop water demand. The system does satellite-based surface wetness monitoring that is sites assessments on moisture distribution across the command area. Detects over-irrigation and waterlogging to minimize water wastage. Also, identifies dry patches, allowing for targeted intervention. Aqua Irrigation leverages AI-powered crop detection and classification to identify crop types in real time. Analyzes crop growth patterns and monitors seasonal variations, supporting adaptive water management. With crop water requirement insights, the platform gives analysis on precise water demand based on crop type, growth stage, and weather conditions. Further, cites irrigation schedules and water release insights, given seasonal and forecasted water needs 2 weeks in advance, actual releases, and advisory recommendations. The Performance and Impact Assessment module ensures continuous monitoring of irrigation. Assess canal irrigation and water use.
So I would like to go to the next slide, where which has been just explained here, that we are building the digital twin of canal network, and we are integrating it with the crop water requirement, because every crop has its own crop water specific requirement. Based on that, we have also the command area digital twin, where we are integrating based on the number of days the satellite swath is there and how much amount of water is required for that command area. So this is optimally been given as a kind of advisory, and irrigation scheduling planning is also being carried out. So this is our digital twin in which so mainly I would like to show that this is a canal monitoring system in which you can go to the last level also and see the offtake details and different types of crops which are sown. And based on what we are giving the advisory are not just the rainfall, the amount of rainfall, the groundwater and the soil moisture inside it, which is already available, and the water which is needed along with them. That is a crop water requirement. That has been assessed here, and that is been given as an advisory. No, next. So this is about the last mile visibility of canal networks, where we are bringing into canal-wise irrigation and crop information into one system, where GIS and MIS, both the practices are brought into one place. And here we have an individual field level engineers who can use this and monitor various kind of information related to their jurisdictions. Next. So now this is the one which I feel is the main crux of the work, because mostly when we do some work, the main intention is it should go to the last mile users, especially the farmers, so they can ask in their own language any questions.
Do you want today's optimized irrigation schedule for the Telangana command areas?
Yes, share it.
Kharif zones under SRSP, Nagarjun Sagar Left Canal, and parts of Palmuru-Rangareddy need irrigation today. Moisture is adequate in Warangal and Suryapet, so irrigation can be deferred there. Should I suggest water release timings from the major reservoirs?
Yes, give the recommended release.
So this is how we are giving the information based on the Gen AI. The next one.
Introducing AquaGPT, powered by AquaWise, a Gen AI-based smart co-pilot designed for irrigation. The platform enables users to get dynamic information on weather patterns, crop stage, water release scheduling, and requirements.
My paddy field of survey number 123 is in flowering stage.
Yes, your paddy field A123 is now in flowering stage. This is a critical time when your crop needs proper care for good grain formation.
Have you seen the temperature forecast?
Along with the weather forecast.
Yes, the weather looks good for your crop. Daytime temperatures will be around 28 to 30.
So this is about the water stress, ICID details, and field level engineering, where we are integrating all of them into one platform. And the last one, minor irrigation. So here I would like to say we are finding the different surface water spread area of the water with the satellite imageries, and then we are integrating it in such a way that we are understanding what is the calculated volume for that particular lake. And this helps in understanding the change in water level in a particular lake of that place. Next. So this is about the unified database, where the whole irrigation system has been compacted, and digitization of farm is being done by the high resolution satellite imagery and AI. And then we are bringing the visibility for the farmer in such a way that it is direct beneficiary. And once the farmer understand which type of crop has to be sown, and whether the crop is whether that place is suitable now for sowing the crop, so he gets educated, and in this way he'll be able to make a good decision making before purchasing any seed, or before going through the mechanization, or even for doing the harvesting. So this kind of education, when it is done to the farmers, we are not only just increasing their the way that they have to work, but also the income gets increased because they are not investing at the time and taking a judicious way of doing any work ahead for their farm level. So this is the linked crop zone data, and then we have the crop detection classification where what are the dry crops and wet crops in that place, and then crop growth monitoring where we are doing at different growth stages, the soil moisture and based on the other climatic factors, where we are giving the immediate risk insights which can happen at that farm level. Next. So this is the extreme event alert. I would like to say that this was in Krishna district where we have cropped the affected area due to heavy rainfall in the last week of August 24th in Vijayawada, where we have detected how many crops are there in that place which are sown and how many are getting inundated. So this kind of advisory is highly needed because these understand that these many crops are being inundated and these are the ones which needs little, they may be at risk. So this advisory was very much useful. And this is how we have the early season drought monitoring and other dashboards, as well as we are also doing the remote sensing powered harvest progressing tracking also in the same system. Next. So this is all about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri, for your presentation on application of remote sensing AI, MI in smart irrigation. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite Mr. Somnath Jadhav from Jain Irrigation India. Well, continuing our exploration of innovative irrigation solution. So now he will be delivering his presentation on resource to root, the integrated irrigation solution. Mr. Somnath Jadhav. Sir, may I request you to kindly conclude in 10 to 12 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jadhav, and I am here to deliver a presentation on resource to root, the innovative way of efficient water management, agricultural water management. I am from Jain Irrigation. Jain Irrigation, as you know, it's the largest manufacturer of micro irrigation systems in the country, and we are working since 1963, and we have been manufacturing PE pipes, PVC pipes, PE pipes up to 2.5 meter diameter, which replaces the canal, and PVC pipes up to 630 diameter, that is the maximum size in PVC pipes. Then we are also manufacturing micro irrigation systems which are suitable for all crops, all land extents, all terrains, and all crops. So plus we are manufacturing solar pumping systems, and also we are into providing better high yielding plantlets, tissue culture plantlets, particularly banana and pomegranate. We are also into contract farming. We are providing all the inputs to the farmers, and by buying back the produce from the farmer, processing in our processing units, and then exporting the same value-added products. So these are all the activities that we are doing. We have a beautiful 2,000-acre R&D farm at Jalgaon near Mumbai. So these are the activities in short. Now let us go to our today's topic, that is resource to root. As you know that in India and in other parts of the globe also, we have been doing irrigation since last 300-400 years, and that in last 300 years or 400 years we could not go beyond canals. We are constructing dams, constructing canals, and giving the flood irrigation. That has been doing in the canal command areas. But this is new concept, that is resource to root. We are working since last 20 years in India, and we have executed a single largest project. If you see, this is 12,300 hectares. that is in Karnataka. Thank you. So I will tell you about the projects also and the case studies also. Yeah. So what essentially resource to root is from the source of dam to the root zone of the crops. It is all closed conduit system, and it increases the efficiency from 34% or 35% to 90%. Now in the conventional systems, what happens is conventional irrigation wastes 60 to 65% of the water drawn. It is wasted through conveyance, through evaporations, through seepage, through deep percolation. So all these results into very low, abnormally low water use efficiencies or irrigation efficiencies. And ultimately, the groundwater depletion is accelerating in the key agricultural zones. Climate change is intensifying the droughts. These are the why the irrigation is must reasons. And this is R2R, how it works. Like there is a water source, there is a pumping station, main pipelines, filtration units, fertigation systems, main, sub-mains, laterals, and drip systems. So from the source of water, which may be dam, which may be river, or which may be a tank, small tank, swamps, or reservoirs, there the water is necessarily coming through pumping mains or gravity mains. These are the pipelines of say 1 meter, 1.5 meter, or 2 meter diameter, and then the water is brought to the farm level through piping, and then at the farm level drip irrigation system is there to deliver the water to the plant's root zone. Now here what we are doing, we are not irrigating the land, we are irrigating the crop first of all. We have been irrigating the land since last 300 years, but now we are not supposed to irrigate the land, we are irrigating the crop through drip irrigation system. Secondly, the system is entirely closed. So there is no percolation loss, there is no evaporation loss, there is no seepage loss or conveyance loss. Field application efficiency is very high, up to 90%, because we are installing drip or sprinkler irrigation system at the as a last mile connectivity. So this is about the sprinkler irrigation, wherein we get up to 75% water use efficiency. I won't go into the details like advisory as to what we are supposed to do or what we should do, but I would like to focus on the case studies that we have done. So sugarcane, banana, rice. Rice also we are using drip irrigation system in the DSR. So there we are saving a lot of water, as well as we are reducing the greenhouse gas emission by about 60 to 70%. Methane gas emission. Then cotton, vegetables, orchards and vineyards, all have been tried, and we got the results of up to 3 times yield increase, payback period in 2 years, input cost reduction by 50%, and fertilizer efficiency gain by 30%. So these are the results. Out of 140 million hectares of farmland, India has only 10 million hectares of micro irrigation. So there is a huge potential for this. This is the concept outside the country. So I will just go through quickly so that we get some time to see the videos. So solar irrigation, we are also doing the community-based solar schemes. These are the water productivities that we get in case of drip irrigation or sprinkler irrigation, and in case of flood irrigation. This is the comparison. Now for example, sugarcane, you get 5 kilograms per meter cube of water, where in drip irrigation you get 12. So there is a net increase in water productivity by using drip irrigation. This is the project we have done in Himachal Pradesh. You can see in the right hand side that picture, how the flexible line is going through the hills. This is the impact of resource to root. So I will come on the case study. This is one of the projects that we have done in Himachal Pradesh. and that is Kandi Canal, Mukherian Canal as a water source. And along the canal we have installed the solar panels, and this is 1,642 acres of area being irrigated with 1.2 megawatt power, solar power. Number of beneficiaries are 1,200, and the total cost of the project was about 41 crore rupees. And the maintenance contract we have completed, that is 7 years. Now this is 8th year is going on, and we are reviving that contract. So water if use conveyance efficiency 99%, field application efficiency up to 90%, and we get the ultimate efficiency of 89%. So this is stage 1 and stage 2. From stage 1, from the canal, water is taken to the tanks in the fields. These are the open tanks, and from the tanks it is being irrigated through micro irrigation. Again solar powered. Everything is solar powered. It is fully automatic solar powered micro irrigation scheme. So I would like to show you one more case study. These are the efficiency gaps which can be filled up. So can you just put on the video, please? Anybody is there? Video of Shahzad. There is one more case study. This is in UP, Uttar Pradesh. So there are a number of projects that we have executed, more than 100 projects in the country, ranging from 2,000 hectare to 98,000 hectare with single water source. So one project in Mohanpura, that is in Madhya Pradesh, that is of 98,000 hectares with a single water source. And there we are using this 2-meter diameter pipe. We have 2.5-meter diameter pipe, which I would like to show you a small video of that 2.5-meter diameter pipe, which replaces the canal. this is all about us. Questions are welcome. I am thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to. Yes, sir.
One image about the cascading solar panels by the canal side, right? Are they feeding individual pumping, or they are for a central unit to feed the entire?
No, they are having a standalone pumping.
Standalone pumping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jadhav, for sharing how integrated irrigation solutions can actually optimize every stage of the journey from resource to root. Thank you once again. Our next presentation focuses on digital and climate resilient approaches to irrigation modernization. It's my pleasure to invite Mr. Manivasakan. That's a wrong.
Not sure. See, the other new one today. How do I go to the next one? Okay, let's see. Maybe that's one. Okay, yep. Okay, that's one. Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, all. My name is Mani from SMEC International. We're based in globally. We have quite a large footprint in India, but I'm out of the Australian operations in Melbourne. Today I'm just going to talk about smart and climate resilient irrigation system modernization. I thought I'd put up in summary of what I'm going to talk about today. I'm not going to dwell into the challenges. We heard it all yesterday, from water scarcity, aging assets. The key thing I want to focus on is what is the smart irrigation modernization is. I did highlight the word automation. There's a lot of people think SCADA and automation as the smartest way. But there's a lot of other work you could be done, and this SCADA and automation is an enabler rather than a key part of the modernization work. A lot of work we've done in Australia sort of ignored the assets sort of things, which I'll touch on later on. The presentation focuses on two case studies, one from Australia and one from Central Asia. There's a few people from Central Asia here, they might be familiar with that. Just skip this slide. Okay. I just put up this slide just to show on the left side where we are in most part of the world. It's a supply-driven system, and where you want to head into a smart irrigation system, which is a combination of new infrastructure, upgraded infrastructure, and some digital tools assisting to get to there. As I highlighted before, it's kind of a staged kind of approach. We have to understand where the water is going, where is the water is being lost, what the asset condition is at, the demand profile, supply, demand gaps, and eventually we get to a fully modernized system with selective automation. I put the word selective automation is because the work we've done in Australia is largely complete automation. I don't see that as a cost-effective solution for everywhere. What also important is the governance and the capacity building of the institutes. So if I move on to the case studies, the first one is, I know a lot of you would have heard about the global Murali water modernization work, which started back in the 90s. it largely works on a completely automated control system with real-time monitoring, with basically even from farmers ordering on their phones or computers and getting their water without having to walk to the farm, the water delivered to their farm. I call it as a drought-driven water investment in Australia rather than a modernisation. So what happened in the 90s is we had the millennium drought. We almost close to running out of water in most parts of Australia, especially around the eastern coast, from Melbourne all the way to Brisbane. The city of Melbourne, we were in stages 3 and 4 restrictions. That means effectively we couldn't water the gardens, we couldn't water, or we couldn't even wash the cars. We couldn't do any outdoor activities other than the essential cooking and washing kind of thing. If you look at the irrigation systems, the water allocations fell to 10%. In a typical year, the allocations around 130, 140% of, so you can see the reduction in the amount of water being supplied to the customers. The water was only enough to do stock and domestic and some high value agriculture. The response from the governments of Australia, which is the federal and the state governments, is investment. So we built one of the largest desalination plants in Melbourne, spent more than $1 billion on it, and the plant is rarely used at the moment. I don't know if it's ever been used for producing water. It's being run every year just to make sure that it maintains and it can be used if it needed. Then we built a north-south pipeline for a $2 billion cost, probably about 200 kilometers long pipeline, to allow water to be transferred in Melbourne from other catchments. And then part of that Melbourne Water, which is the Urban Water Supply Authority in Melbourne, invested $180 million in the first phase of the modernisation work in exchange for 75 gigs of water savings given back to the Melbourne Water Authority, which they have that entitlement. They're not using it, but they're selling it in the market, making money every year out of it. Following on that, there's a $2 billion investment by the Australian government into the global Murali water system, which allowed the water savings to be returned to the environment. So the impact of all of that is basically there was a savings of 200 gigs of water savings all up. And also we improved the governance, a clear roles and responsibilities. One of the things happened also is the an integrated water management. When I say integrated water management, so if you look at Global Murali Water, they have 7 districts. And within a district, they probably have about 12, 14 units. So part of this process, everything that the whole district now run as one district, one component rather than 12 units. So which allowed more responsive to demand and allow running the system better. So effectively, this is how the Global Murali water system looks like. This is an AI-generated picture, as you can tell. Largely automated with some old civil infrastructure still in place. So if you move on to the Central Asian system, there's quite a few countries where we're doing work at the moment. I'm just highlighting the Kazakhstan system, which is called IDIP-2 project, funded by the World Bank. About $340 million gone into it. Most of the infrastructure was built during the Soviet era. Ever since the Soviet Union sort of walked out of the place, the infrastructure has been neglected, and there's no maintenance, no upgrading, nothing happened. And also they were getting old too, the infrastructure were getting old. There are a large number of pump stations not functioning at the moment. The system's currently running around 50% efficient, so half the water is being lost. The way the Central Asian modernization's heading is more around fixing up the existing assets, so improving the life of the assets and basically fixing up the leakages, the conveyance losses, and basically getting the water savings out of it. There's also institutional reforms happening. There's a land, major part of that is also land reform, land ownership reform, water accounting, and also the targeted measurement. They are looking at an automated solution, but not as a holistic, not as a full-scale Australian style, a targeted process. If you look at the Central Asian roadmap, this is how they're sort of progressing. Before modernisation, they were in the legacy degraded stage. They're doing the number 2, 3, 4 at the moment, with the view of going into the targeted digitisation and into a smart irrigation setup with targeted automation and SCADA. So if you compare both the Australian and Kazakhstan, you can see that Australia spent $2 billion and achieved over 275 gigalitres of water savings. And Kazakhstan spent a fraction of that and got similar kind of water savings. It's a different systems. Australia starting at a higher base. Our losses were 30% losses. We were running around close to 65, 70% efficiency. Kazakhstan running at 50. The labor cost also played a significant role in it. Australia focused more on digitization and water accounting, whereas the Kazakhstan focused more on rehabilitating the system and efficiency recovery. So what does this mean for India and other countries is basically is a stepped kind of stage kind of approach rather than rush into a modernization is what this sort of tells us. Again, this provide a sort of descriptive kind of summary. Just jump to the next slide. So this slide just highlights some of the issues out of the both the Australian model and the Central Asian model. The Australian model, we had aging assets. A lot of the assets when we did the modernization were around 75, 80 years old, so they were reaching the end of life. So instead of replacing them with new assets, what we've done, you'll see in the next photo, I'll show you. We retrofitted the existing assets, so that extended the life for 30 years, which is the same as the mechanical gates and the SCADA system. So we're potentially going to have almost a $10 billion asset cliff coming up in the next 15, 20 years' time, if the authorities don't plan ahead of it now. The other one thing is we did all the work in Australia in a short 10-year window. There are some downfalls to that too. We were early adapters, so there's a lot of, we were sort of guinea pigs in a lot of ways. And the Australian investment initially focused on the distribution system. Now we're moving on to on-farm. There's a lot of government funding coming into the on-farm modernization. So you can see what I meant by it. The top two pictures show how we fitted the automated gates into an older structure. The one on the left side is a substantial, if you're going to replace it in 20 years' time, it's probably going to need about $3-4 million just for the civil works alone. And you can see the bottom left is a new structure, which there weren't many new structures got built. And the bottom right-hand side shows the canal lining work we did. We did quite a lot of canal lining work. Again, the synthetic lining, they're going to fail in 30 years' time. So again, an asset cliff coming for us. This one, basically, I think what we're getting is a stage investment model, probably is the best case. If you look at the Central Asian system, they address two core issues. One is the aging assets, which the Australian system didn't address completely. The other one is conveyance loss. And the Central Asian system also delivers high return on investment. The broader lessons mainly from the Australian ones is the shortcomings of the one-off investment model. We spent $2 billion in a 10-year window, which limits us basically taking any of the generational innovations coming up now in terms of AI. Key conclusions, a staged modernization approach, and capacity building is key part of it, and selective automation. And you can do a lot of things with I think there's a previous speaker said the Aqua Voice, that kind of systems can help minimize some of the automation investments. And data analytics and AI is coming big way nowadays. So that's probably where the key messages and conclusions are. I think the key is to take a step-by-step approach. Don't rush things into it. Technology evolves. Make sure that you fix up the fundamental issues of making sure that your core assets are the aging assets. The lives get extended, or you either replace them or you fix them up properly before you look at adapting any of the technological advancements. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mani, for sharing with all of us how digital transformation is actually making irrigation systems smarter, more resilient, and future-ready. Ladies and gentlemen, now we turn to a project that showcases innovation in strengthening irrigation infrastructure and improving water security. I would like to invite Mr. Murali from L&T India to deliver his presentation on Lower Suktel project, leading innovation, securing irrigation, empowering prosperity. Mr. Murali. And I would also request if you can conclude in 10 to 12 minutes, please. Thank you.
Good morning, all. At the outset, I would like to thank ICID and my management for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts in this August forum, Global Summit. And this is about a project which we have executed in Odisha. About our company, L&T is an engineering conglomerate that has been delivering projects in national and international for the past 8 decades. And we have ability to we have in-house engineering as well as advanced digital technologies for proper delivery of project, and we are specialists in conceiving the thoughts to continuance like maintenance. This is about the irrigation projects we have been executing in our Odisha state of India, and total we have irrigated about 3 lakh hectares of land, and 10 lakh beneficiaries are being benefited in this. And out of 30 districts of Odisha, we have been footprint about 17 districts, and total we have covered 3,309 numbers. This is the typical layout of the project, which we have been discussing about, like Lower Suktel project, and it has distributed into 2 districts of Balangir and Sonpur. The total command area is 27,000 hectares. This is the typical layout of a project, wherein the water is being pumped from the dam, and through pump houses, it is distributed to various locations, wherein this is the operational control unit where it is being controlled to give water to 1 hectare chucks. The capacity of the dam which we have been taking out water is 1.13 TMC, and the catchment area is 1,200 square kilometers. And the dam is divided into 2 parts, left and right, and we have executed the project in right bank. This is the typical pump house where the water is being pumped through there is an approach channel of about 800 meters through which water will pass from dam, and it is being pumped from here to there. The capacity, the total area is around 168 square meters, and it is intended to supply water for 85% in Kharif and 42% in Rabi cash crops like cotton, flour, and sunflower and groundnut. Few photographs of substation and approach channel. We have installed 2 10 MVA transformers. This is the various pipelines like MS, DI, and HDPE pipelines. We have completed the entire network of work in 280 days, that is total 3,265 kilometers of pipeline. MS pipe from 3 meter to 1.1 meter dia, 59 kilometers. DI, it is 125 kilometers, and HDPE pipe 3,111 kilometers. These are all the pumps which is installed for lifting the water, which is about 3.171 cumex with 2.1 megawatt motors. The head is around 43 kilometers. It is being pumped. This is the OCS outlet control system, wherein the water lifted from the dam will reach at this location where that smart irrigation work starts. It will give it in the as per the requirement. We can control it through SCADA system. These are all the photographs of how water is being delivered, and it will be through rotational system, and it will be monitored through SCADA, and we can find out the area where we require water. There only we can give the water. And total number of gram panchayats covered is 32, and villages are 142. Total beneficiaries are 32,000 plus. This is the proposed demo form. Further micro irrigation, all the outlets are having a potential of covering micro irrigation also, with adequate head is being provided. Few innovations and technologies we have utilized for completing this project on time. That is, through LIDAR technology, we have surveyed the entire area of 50,000 hectares within 30 days, which has given us the time for designing and procurement. And machineries. This trenchless pushing, which is done in Odisha for irrigation works, first time. We have introduced TRC panels, which is light in weight, corrosion resistant, and it is used for easy installation. And SCADA system, of course. These are all the various digital implementation we have done in our project, like workforce management system, and all P&Ms are connected with IoTs, and LMNOP Plus for understanding the route of the pipeline, where it is to be laid exactly, and quality and safety management systems. this is the, we are proud to be a part of the mission of Har Khet Ko Pani, means every field will get water and more crop per drop, and Odisha Village Mission. What is the advantage of that project is also, it supports pond recharge in drought-prone regions, and as well as avoided groundwater being extracted from that area. Few workforce are the main people who are, supporting us for executing the work. So we take care by, through regular checkups and providing facilities. As a corporate responsible citizens, we have given some donations to the needy people, students. Yes, bigger the projects, challenges will be there, like right of way, ROW, we call, like we have to enter into somebody's fields and we have to lay the pipeline. Though it is benefit for them, yes, there is a oppression, and people will be in a position to not to allow them, like they will be telling, no, it is my land, you cannot enter into it, though it is benefited to us, them. However, it has been mitigated through continuous follow-up with the people as well as Palisabas, and few awards, accolades we have achieved through this, out of which WSO award, silver trophy, and as well as BSc award, BSc 3-star certification also we have got. Through this, we can empower the farmers, which is assuring irrigation to 1 lakh acres, enabling production of 250,000 metric ton of paddy in a year, and enhance the food security through increased agriculture production, generation of rural employment and growth of allied industries. Reverse migration may occur to meet the additional manpower demand in the region. Reduction in migration and creation of local livelihood opportunities. Valuation of the farming land got increased after ensuring availability of water. Eliminated the land acquisition and achieved quick progress of the project. And through the pipe network system, it has, with the same amount of water, which is reduced by seepage losses or evaporation losses, we have achieved maxed covering area. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murali, for presenting how engineering innovation can actually transform irrigation infrastructure into a catalyst for sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, our final presentation in this session highlights the growing role of remote sensing in enabling demand-based irrigation planning and smarter water management. It's my pleasure to invite Ms. Annie Marie Issac, and the topic for her presentation is development of a remote sensing driven demand-based irrigation scheduling system, a case study of the Narayanpur command area. She's from National Remote Sensing Center, India. May I also request you to conclude in 10 to 12 minutes, please? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My presentation today is on a demand-based irrigation scheduling system with the augmentation of remote sensing data. So here, so the stage has been set for the need of an informed decision-making in irrigation scheduling. It was emphasized in the talks of yesterday, and today we saw many people who are implementing that on ground with real case studies. So my presentation will emphasize on how we can make this informed decision-making through remote sensing data. So here, with the perspective of crops which are not rice, we know that soil moisture is a very big controlling factor for when and where we should irrigate. But in case of India, where the irrigation farm holdings or the command area systems are very huge, going for an instrumentation or a sensor-based control system for the whole area, it will be not viable economically. At the same time, if we decide to rely on satellite-based soil moisture products which are currently available, the best available resolution you can have is 100 meter, which is 2 cores for small farm holdings of India. So in that perspective, we have developed an approach which will bring both remote sensing data as well as hydrologic modeling simulations together to have a optimal solution to this problem. So here, this is the overall outlook of our system. We are taking satellite imagery on a periodic basis, deriving the cropping pattern, and then we are using the forecasted near real-time as well as forecasted meteorological data for doing a water balancing to estimate the irrigation requirement. And also we are using the remote sensing-based evapotranspiration data to know what is the condition of the water satisfaction in the crops. So coming to the cropping pattern, yesterday during the inaugural session, Chairman CWC had one of the problems which he highlighted was the cropping pattern, capturing of the cropping pattern in the Indian systems. So the cropping pattern changes from year to year. Also, it is a regular practice in Indian irrigation systems that there is a huge staggering of sowing as well as transplanting of paddy crops and sowing of the non-paddy crops. So in our system, what we are trying to do is on a fortnightly basis, we are capturing this staggered cropping pattern or the staggering of the crop sowing, based on which we are identifying the different stages of the crops which are available at that particular time in the system. So we have developed a machine learning based approach for this. And, we have developed a machine learning based approach for this with a thorough set of ground truth data that is collected from the field. Now, once we have the crop information, next comes the challenge of estimating the irrigation requirement for that particular crop. So here, coming to an irrigation scheduling, we cannot stand with the retrospective state. We have to look forward. So we are bringing in the forecasted meteorological data and soil moisture as well as evapotranspiration from near real time, and applying it on a soil water balancing model for non-paddy crops and field water balancing model for paddy crops to estimate what is the irrigation requirement required for the next 7 days. So once we know the depth of irrigation and the area of the crop, we find out what is the volumetric requirement that is at the canal head level and at the different outlet level. So this is how we do the depth estimates, as you can see here, and then we translate that into volumetric estimates. So you can clearly see here through the season, we are capturing that staggering in the crop area, which is reflected in the irrigation requirement. Now coming to, once we know the irrigation requirement, we also want to know where we have to irrigate or where we have to prioritize, for which we are bringing into picture the evapotranspiration data that is available from remote sensing, thermal remote sensing. So here, what we are doing is a simple adequacy test where the actual evapotranspiration that is happening on the field is compared with the water requirement, and a crop water satisfaction index is derived, with which we can clearly see the problem which was stated yesterday, that the tail end portion of the canal systems are not addressed when there is no equitable distribution of water. So once we can identify these things through the season, such canal, those canals can be prioritized in the delivery for ensuring good yield through the entire system. Okay, so now this system, when we developed all these architecture, I would call it, we did it over Narayanpur command area, but we had automated this entire process and brought out an irrigation information system, which will enable you, this is the visualization of Narayanpur system through a season, but this is not restricted to Narayanpur system. We can also take it to any other command area that is there in India. So to summarize it, I can tell you, be it Samriddhi in the CAD project or the AquaWise, if you are planning for an irrigation-based irrigation scheduling, you can have the irrigation requirement cropping pattern as well as the crop condition status from this particular dashboard of ours, provided you make, like we make a Facebook profile, you make a profile or account for your irrigation system with the minimum data. By minimum data, I mean the geospatial layers like command area boundaries and canal network and basic information of what is the dominant crop in your system and when is the usual sowing date. With the very fundamental information, you can have your own irrigation information developed or a dashboard from this in IRIS. And from this dashboard, yesterday a member of CWC had mentioned, like we should equip ourselves for the upcoming generation. So here what we have done is, we have developed our products in such a way that it is easily downloadable from this dashboard, or otherwise it can be fetched using API services. So, and I would like to conclude saying that these are one application which I have shown for an informed decision making using remote sensing, but the upcoming satellite missions like Trishna, as well as the the satellite mission like NISR, they hold huge potential in giving us fine resolution data which can enhance many of our smart irrigation systems. Thank you. Yes, yes, sir.
You are starting with remote sensing data for crop maps at 100, and then I see you have about transpiration maps after that almost, I don't know. Why you go again to recalculate for food requirements after a new model?
I start my crop map with 20 meter from Sentinel data. I do my irrigation requirement estimation over this data at a point scale, and it is done for each of the basins. Okay. And it is accumulated at a distributory level.
That's why you do modeling.
Yes. And then finally my evapotranspiration comes for a validation to see whether the water is satisfied as per the requirement.
Thank you, Ms. Annie, for your very knowledge-enhancing presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, well, from filtration technologies to artificial intelligence, integrated solutions, and remote sensing, today's sessions showcase the diverse innovation shaping the future of smart irrigation. And we would like to felicitate all our speakers. Before that, may we have a very warm round of applause for all our speakers. And we also would like to thank all of you for your time and patience and for your participation. I would request President ICID, Ms. Dr. Marco, to kindly come forward for the felicitation of all our speakers. And I would also invite all our speakers one by one. Thank you, Mr. Prakhar Bindal. I would invite Dr. Madhuri. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. If Mr. Prakhar Bindal is there or anyone from his team, would you please come forward? Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. Thank you, Mr. Somnath Jadhav. Please stay back for a group photograph. Thank you, Mr. Somnath Jadhav from Jain Irrigation, India. We're also very thankful to Mr. Mani from Prothero, Kawa, Baha, SMEC, Australia. We're also very thankful to Mr. Murali from L&T. Mr. Jadhav, could you please join us for a group photograph? Mr. Mani, please stay back. Thank you, Mr. Murali from L&T, India. We're also thankful to Ms. Annie from National Remote Sensing Center, India. Can I have all our eminent speakers for a group photograph, please? Could you please come forward for a group photograph? Thank you, everybody. And I also will take a short break for tea for 15 minutes. I request all of you to kindly gather back at 11:30. And if you could also utilize this time to visit our exhibition hall, please do go and interact with our exhibitors. Thank you, enjoy the tea, and see you all back at 11:30 for our next technical session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.